Okay, everybody, I'm back again with another review. This is the Bay Area's only toy reviewer, Carl, and I am here today reviewing the DC Universe Robin, but not just any Robin. This is the Damian Wayne Robin, the son of Bruce Wayne. Now, admittedly, I don't really know too much about this character aside from watching the Son of Batman animated movie that he was in, and honestly, out of the Robins, I think he's my least favorite one. Reason being, he's a dick. He's a dick. For those of you who are seeing this video, for those of you who are seeing my videos for the first time, I'm not a Batman guy. I'm not a Batman guy. I don't hate him. I get it. I get it. But I'm not a Batman guy. I'm more of a fan of the auxiliary characters to Batman rather than Batman himself. But with this guy, I made an exception. I got him because he was affordable. He was cheap. I got him on the cheap at Toys R Us. And I figured, hey, you know what? I don't really have a Robin represented in my collection. So I picked him up. You know, I think the articulation is okay. It could be a little bit better, but we'll get into that. We'll talk about it. He does come with two accessories. He comes with this sword, which is, you know, the handle is very nicely detailed. The blade kind of looks crude, but you know, what are you gonna do? And it does feel kind of flimsy, as if you know, you bend it too much, it will break on you. So I suggest that you proceed with caution when it comes to the sword. And he also comes with if I can get it out, this mask here. Which is just, you know, it's a really hard plastic. Whoa. It's a really hard plastic. Really hard plastic. And it's just white mask. Really hard plastic, white mask. Minimal details, black around the eyes, but that's pretty much it. As you saw, he holds the sword nicely. Holds the sword nicely in both hands. But getting into the figure here, I prefer to keep the mask on him because look at his face. You know, it's cool. He's got the hood. I'm glad he has the hood. I'm glad the hood doesn't drop down. But just look at his face. Just, man. Starting at the head. His head does go around 360, but it is hindered a little bit by his cape here. There's another cape issue. I will talk about that. His arm does go around 360. Once again, hindered by the cape. Goes out to about there. Joints feel smooth. Joints feel real smooth. No forearm gimmick here. Does have a wrist swivel. The same on both sides. He has an abdominal hinge that gets you back about there, but it's hindered because of the cape. Gets you forward to about there, which doesn't really look like much. His leg does go out, but what I had to do was, in order to get the full range of his leg, I had to cut his skirts here in order to get the clearance, in order to bring his leg up. So it gets you up to about there. Gets you back to about there. He does have a lower thigh hinge. Lower thigh swivel, excuse me. He also has a waist swivel. Gets you around 360. Lower thigh swivel. Single jointed knee. No thigh swivel. Got a ankle joint to get you about there. Back to about there. And that is pretty much it. Before we go any further, I want to talk about this cape. Now, the back of the cape looks good. I mean, just, like this stuff withstanding, the cape does look nice. I wish that the cape would have been a much, much, much softer plastic than it is. That is my only gripe with this figure, is just the cape. The cape is so cumbersome and is so just, it takes up like so much of the figure. And the plastic, whereas you can manipulate it, you just can't manipulate it enough to get you what you want. Though I will say this figure does have some balancing issues, and that cape absolutely does help with that, as far as dynamic poses where he's standing. His feet are very, very small, and you combine that with the cape offsetting his balance, it just throws him to the floor. It just throws him to the ground every time. And that's not me trying to do this. He can have some balance issues, especially when you spread his legs out and you try to get him in a more dynamic pose. I wish that the cape was a softer plastic, but really that's my only gripe. I think that the figure looks good, aside from whatever's going on inside his face, whatever's going on with his face. Aside from that, the figure looks good, I think. All that stitching right there. Another thing is that these kept falling off. So what I did was I glued them on. They're supposed to be on the knee, but I glued them underneath because I didn't want to lose them. But at the same time, I wanted to keep them on the figure, but not have them fall off every 5 minutes, which would ultimately lead me to losing them. But all in all, I think this guy looks good. I think he looks great. I think the detailing in him is I don't want to say spot on to the comic book, but he looks the way he's supposed to. And that's really all I want a figure to do. Now, would I recommend this guy over other Robins? I don't know. Because there's been a few different Robin figures. But I think maybe a couple of Damian Wayne figures. But out of this one and another one that I seen a while back, which looked very spindly and very fragile, I would have to go with this one. This one looks more durable. This one's durable. It's got a meteor look to it, and it will last you a little longer than the other spindly one that I saw. I forget the name. You guys can look it up. But if you have a Batman shelf, I say pick them up. If you are a die-hard Robin fan and you need a Robin, you need a Damian Wayne to not complete your collection, but add to it, especially if you already have a Batman figure from the DC Universe line, I say go for it. But if you are on the fence, I say pass. But ultimately, it's up to you. With me, I bought him because he was affordable. I think he looks good. He does what I need him to do. He's a functional figure. I wish that his articulation was a little bit better, considering, he's Robin and he jumps around a lot and he's very acrobatic. He has a lot of acrobatic skills, a lot of skills in martial arts. But that being said, if you are a Batman fan, then you'll like this guy. If you're not so much a Batman fan, if you're an auxiliary fan, then I say, pass on this guy and see what else is coming down the pike. Do some research and look up other Robins. If you can't find a better Damian Wayne alternative, then I say go for him. But that being said, I'm the Bay Area's only toy reviewer, Carl, and I will see you next time.